99.5 FM. I am Joshua Van-Sluytman. Thank you for joining us. In our headlines this morning, Guyana might get a little money now from oil, but massive debt waits on the horizon, according to international lawyer. Trump blacklists ExxonMobil's Chinese partner in Stabroek Block. Australian mining company here to invest, and body of newborn found in Crane Canal. And the coalition expended $4.2 billion from contingency fund after passage of no confidence motion, according to finance minister. And Eccles man dies after crashing into a utility pole. Get the details of these stories and much more when the news returns. And now for the news in details. Thank you for joining us. Just before I bring to you your news in details, let me read to you today's page in the Kaieteur News that is dedicated to being blunt. President Ali said he ain't no, so he deferred to the ministers. Former President Jagdeo says no laws were broken and there were no corruption. Former President Ramatar swore that he signed without reading. Clearly the president and former presidents are pussyfooting and playing around with this matter. Who is not making up unbelievable Nancy stories, making Guyanese into fools. And now for your news in details. Local politicians are constantly professing that Guyana will receive millions of dollars in revenue from the oil sector for years to come. While it is true that the country stands to get a little money now and in the near future, massive debt waits on the horizon. So said international lawyer and transparency advocate Melinda Janke. Janke recalled that even now, the country owes ExxonMobil approximately $900 million in costs it claimed to have incurred offshore Guyana before it signed the highly criticized Stabroek Block deal in 2016. With ExxonMobil rushing to have 5 oil vessels in operation by 2026, development and operational costs will soar to billions of dollars, which Guyana will also have to pay. Explained, she said, that it's just a small fraction of the debt that will be hanging around the nation's neck in the future. The Donald Trump administration of the United States of America has blacklisted CNOOC, one of the largest national oil companies of China, alleging that to be linked to the Chinese military, the People's Liberalization Army. The action adds that CNOOC to a blacklist of over 30 Chinese companies such as Hawaii's and America's escalating trade with China. And November 12 issued executive order from President Trump precedes the addition of CNOOC to the blacklist. It banned Americans from investing in the firm, which it deems tied to the Chinese military, on the grounds that China is increasingly exploiting the United States capital to resource and to enable the development and modernization of its military intelligence and other security features. The fourth largest company in the iron industry, FMG, has expressed interest in investing in renewable energy in Guyana. These and other details were revealed by GoInvest. On Friday, a 10-person team from the Australian company led by Deputy CEO Julie Shuttleworth touched down at the Cheddi Jagan International Airport for a meeting with GoInvest. This meeting was scheduled with the aim of discussing projects released to the low-carbon development strategy, including the Amila Falls hydropower project, in particular, harvesting renewable energy to facilitate new green industry products such as hydrogen, fertilizers, and metals for both local and foreign markets. We tell you now that residents of Crane squatting area West Coast Demerara yesterday alerted the police of a gruesome discovery of a newborn baby floating in a trench. The newborn, according to police, was discovered in the early morning hours. Crime scene experts reported that the newborn's body is that of a female human. The corpse was found with its left hand missing and with his face upwards. Inquiries were made, but so far police have no information as to how the baby got there or who might have been the parents. Nevertheless, detectives suspects that it might be a case of murder and are carrying out the necessary investigations. According to recently sworn in Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, the former APNU AFC regime has expanded some $4.2 billion Guyana dollars from the country's contingency fund, a reserve of money set aside to cover possible unforeseen future expenses. The finance minister, in a statement to the press, pointed out that despite the coalition being a caretaker government, it went ahead and withdrew some $4.2 billion Guyana dollars after the successful passage of the no confidence motion in December 21, 2018. What the finance minister was keen to point out as well is that the hefty sum was left unclear by the former government. Eyewitnesses recalled the final moments for a man who resided at Eccles East Bank, Demerara, were filled with agony. The man died after slamming into a utility pole Friday last. 22-year-old Anthony Patridine crashed around 23 hours 30 and died hours later while receiving treatment at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. According to police, Patridine was driving his motor car in the eastern direction along the northern lane of the Railway Embankment Road, East Coast, Demerara. However, while in the vicinity of Labon in Tension, he lost control of his car and slammed into a utility pole on the southern side of the road, before coming to a halt in a nearby trench. Eyewitnesses detailed that the young man was speeding at the time of the accident. We tell you now that paying bills, topping up your mobile account, and sending and receiving money in Guyana has now gotten a whole lot easier with the recently enhanced Mobile Money Guyana MMG Plus app. This is according to a statement issued by GTT, which revealed that the MMG Plus platform now allows iOS downloads, strengthened security features and QR codes, scanning to facilitate the increased ease of doing transaction with the app. You're listening to your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio for today, Sunday, December 6th. Finally, at this time, the Ministry of Health recorded 36 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours. According to the ministry's update, that is the COVID-19 dashboard, the total number of confirmed cases in Guyana is now 5,637. However, only 753 of these cases are currently active, including the 5 patients in the COVID-19 ICU and the remaining 748 persons in institutional isolation. At the interim, the COVID-19 death toll remains at 151, while 38 persons have recovered from the virus. In total, the recovery stands at 4,733 persons. And that's the news till the moment. Just before we go, here's a recap of our top stories. Guyana might get a little money now from oil, but massive debt waits on the horizon, according to international lawyer Melinda Janke. Trump blacklists Exxon's Chinese partner in Stabroek Block. Australian mining company FMG here to invest. Body of newborn found in Crane Canal. And Eccleman dies after slamming into utility pole. And coalition expended $4.2 billion from contingency fund after passage of no confidence motion, according to Dr. Ashley Singh. You can get the full details of these stories and much more by picking up a copy of the Kaieteur News at a newsstand near you, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. I am Joshua Van-Sluytman. Thank you for joining us. Have a great remainder of your Sunday morning, and encouraging you to stay with us right here on Kaieteur Radio. Coming up after the break is the Weekend Review with Kevin Smith, where we recap all the top stories carried over the past week.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the